And welcome to another episode of the Quotes and Mirrors podcast. I am Rellic.
And I am Uncommonterry. Welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you're here too.
Glad you're here.
All right, cool. This is Quotes and Mirrors podcast, as my light-skinned friend has already stated. Another episode. Excuse me. We pick quotes here. We reflect on them, hence the name Quotes and Mirrors. We did do a quote from him last week. I believe I pummeled you last time.
That's not what happened.
Yeah. Shh.
That's not what happened.
Be a lamb. So
stop lying.
Touche.
And touche.
Here we go.
See, and in order for y'all to understand all of that, you got to watch last week's episode.
You do have to watch last week's episode.
Right. Good callback.
But right. So he did pick the quote last week. I picked the quote this week, and we're gonna keep it real simple. 2 words. Just do it. 3 words.
Oh, okay.
3 words. You should have seen how they looked at me just now in the studio. They was like, wait a second, you about to be stupid. Right out the gate. So I said 2 words. About to say 3. Plain as day, 2. Anyway, they small words though. See, it's small words. Anyway.
Okay, we can look at them as 2 words. Then.
Yes. The quote is just do it. You all are very familiar with that. That is the slogan from Nike. Individual named Dan Wieden co-founded the advertising agency that gave Nike that slogan. And the reason I picked this slogan, because I'm a black and white person.
Yeah, I already knew where you were going with this. It's like, yo, here we go.
Yeah. So, but I honestly, I picked it because it's a very simple statement, but it seems to be very difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, to just do it. So I would love to speak to Mr. Dan. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm sorry. Because the quote actually came from, oh man, it was somebody's their dying words. I forget. I have to look it up again. Maybe I'll look it up while we're on here. But it was their dying words, and the guy was just basically saying, "Just kill me." Right. And so he pulled from, "Go ahead, just kill me," to "Just do it." Perspective.
Right. But damn, Nike just became morbid.
Yo, what Nike became was a juggernaut.
Yeah.
And especially like right now, that slogan, do you even remember the slogan for any other sneaker? Do you even have, I don't even know no shot against them, but I don't know what Puma slogan is, Reebok or Adidas.
Yeah.
I don't know, which is a little baffling to me, right?
And they ain't just sneakers. It's like the whole brand.
What's that? What's the whole?
Nike.
Oh, yeah.
Brand, so
well, yeah. But that's why I said sneaker because, I'll be just the Nike. They're known for that first.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying it's an interesting thing to me that the biggest, from what I know anyway, it might just be the most popular. But maybe I should look that up too. Facts help. But the biggest, if not just the most popular sneaker brand, is the only one with a slogan. Like, and is it because the others don't feel like they can compete? I don't know. What? So we're gonna look up what the other slogans are.
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to do. Well, you want to keep talking so you can. I tell you what, I'll look it up while you explain.
Well, I'm in the midst of explaining. So yeah, go ahead and look it up. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting because it's kind of like it makes you think like with these others when they see that he has a slogan and that alone has become like a brand in itself. The actual branding of the statement, just do it, with the Nike swoosh or without it. You know when you see just do it that it's Nike. And it's being as big as they are, why wouldn't any other company just do it? You know what I mean? And so, or I guess, or maybe even to that degree, like, wow. It's just amazing to me. But
they do.
They do?
Yeah.
They got other slogans?
Adidas is impossible, it's nothing. Reebok is be more human. They actually have 2. I am what I am. Puma is forever faster.
Wow.
New Balance, fearlessly independent. I'm not going through all this shit. It's a lot.
Raise your hand if you knew that there was another sneaker brand with a... No? Nobody? All right, cool. But that just blows my mind. I never even, until I looked at it, I was like, hold on a second, what's the other one? No idea. But again, going back to it, the reason for it was, it's a very simple statement, but it is very difficult to do. There are so many things that, because I'm more than anything, I'm an idea man. The actual execution is a huge problem for me. You know what I mean? Being able to take an idea out of my head, even to put it on paper, let alone to put it in action, is very difficult for me. The other reason I chose that is because it's not for you. You know what I mean? And so I thought it was perfect to talk to a Just Do It cat about doing it, because I just, you know, unless it comes to like it was pain, you know how people say rip the Band-Aid off. That I could do. If I was breaking up with somebody, you know, you're dealing with a bunch of emotional situations. I don't want to hurt her feelings. You know, I don't want to break her heart. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Deuces. Put some wheels on your heels. Roll out. You know what I'm saying? I could do that all day.
Such an asshole.
No. I'm not, because that's the irony in me choosing this particular quote, of course, because the black and white part that just says I can just flip a switch and be done with it.
Right.
I can't flip a switch and just do it.
Right. Right.
And it's mad difficult, dude. It's mad difficult. So I'm actually in therapy right now.
I was actually just about to say, so do you want us to talk about the quote, or do you want this to be a counseling session? Because I'm with either one. I mean, come on.
I think somehow it's going to be in
both.
Both. Yeah,
okay.
Because I'm going to find out a little bit about me, you know. But yeah, I'm just like, how do you... I don't know what my problem is. It's not even like fear. Well, it is a little bit fear, right? Because some of it is not fear of failure though, but fear of success. I'd be afraid that I'm going to create something that is going to take more than I know I have to give to maintain. And if that's the case, what really is the point of creating it? You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's failure too, though.
Say again?
I think that's failure too.
You think what's failure?
Because if it's more than what you have to give to maintain it, essentially you end up failing because you didn't have enough to continue to maintain it.
Well, so, okay. First of all, I agree with what you're saying, if indeed you are going to look at yourself to maintain it. But I did learn to pivot.
Okay.
I did learn to pivot, because now I'm looking at how to sell IP. Because that gives me the opportunity to create something. Get it out of here.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to maintain it. However big it gets, you know, I can look back and maybe in some regret myself if I see that it blows up crazy and I didn't make it do that, but I could have made it do that. But still, it's just like, it's very difficult. I have to feel like I have the method, like I think believing in myself has a little bit to do with it in that particular space, because, you know, like I just have to have a secure, like full-on sound, you know, means of maintaining the situation. Otherwise, I can't do it. It's like my apartment when I like moving in or getting married. If I can't handle all the bills, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? That's just the way I feel. Now, you know, by the way, my wife is dope. All right. And she has helped me tremendously as far as it's concerned. I'm talking to y'all because I don't care what he thinks about it. All right. But she's super duper dope.
She is dope.
Hey,
I love her.
I love you. I do. With everything.
It's like my big sister. I love her. She is dope.
She is dope. She's undeniably dope, as a matter of fact. But I'm just saying that, I mean, because I'm talking about holding down all the bills. She definitely does her thing. You know what I mean? But my goal is to be able to. That's when I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? Because I know, and interesting enough, that's also when I can believe in me. But going beyond that, and it's this is why it has to be a therapy session, right? Because part of me is like, I actually only want to, if I had a dream position, my dream position is to start a business where I am the inventory. You know what I mean? Where I'm not dependent on anybody else to produce anything, which is why words is probably my most passionate thing, because you know, and it all can come from me. If if I want to do quotes, if I want to do one-liners, if I want to do whatever, it can all come from me. But I've never believed in it enough to just do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I want to talk about that. What's in the way?
So,
what's not in your way? You know what I mean?
So let's first go back to the whole IP thing. Mm-hmm. I think that this is about realizing your place. So that may be what it is. You may just be the idea man. Mm-hmm. I remember I had a math tutor when I was in 7th grade. And I got a D in math.
That tutor sucked.
The one thing that I learned from him had absolutely nothing to do with math. He said to me one day, he said, "Do you want to be the doing man or the thinking man?" And I said, "I want to be the doing man."
Oh.
And he said, "Why do you want to be the doing man?" I said, "Because in my mind, the doing man does all the work. The thinking man just sits around just thinking about it and it does absolutely nothing." He said, "Let me give you another way to look at this."
I'm offended.
He said, no, this is where it comes to you.
Okay.
He said, the thinking man is the idea man.
Right.
He makes all of the money and tells the doing man what to do.
Okay, but
this is where you sell your IP.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying, right?
Right.
So he said, so now, do you want to be the thinking man or the doing man? And I said, well, okay, in that instance, yeah, I want to be the thinking man because I want to get he said the thinking man gets all the credit and gets all the money and the doing man does all the work. Mm-hmm. And I said, in that case, I want to be the thinking man and I want to get the credit I deserve and I want to get the money I deserve. However, I want the doing man to get his credit and his money as well. And he said to me, you were well on your way to being a very good and successful owner. Mm-hmm. So he said, because you're not just thinking of yourself, you're thinking about your team. You want to take care of everybody. But I think that that's more your space, that whole IP thing, you know, where, because you have had incredible ideas.
Appreciate you.
I mean, like,
we won't put them out there.
No. We ain't gonna put them out there. But the ideas have been so amazing. But of course, you know, there was no execution.
Right.
You know, you didn't just do it.
You don't have to say, of course. It's like you had no expectation that there was going to be any execution.
No, that's me saying in hindsight.
It's okay.
It's hindsight. It wasn't the expectation. It was the hindsight.
The truth is the truth. I'm not afraid of me. All right. I'm working on it though. That's why we're here.
But I think that so yeah, let's get to the bottom of why you won't just do it. I mean, you did just name one thing, but on the other side of the fear of success is the absence of success.
Okay. What does that mean?
So what are you more afraid of? Are you more afraid of not becoming successful or afraid of becoming successful and having to maintain that level of success?
I'm definitely... The greater fear is becoming successful and having to maintain it. And also because it's interesting because I don't need excess doesn't equal success for me. So I have what I need to maintain, you know, my family. But what I need to think about further is I have what I need to maintain my immediate family for what they are doing right now, but not going forward. And I have to think about that heavily now. And, you know, my son, you know, 9 is 11 years old. But right now, you know, given the not just the diagnosis, he has Down syndrome. Him living on his own is... You know, I just be real. That's not going to occur. He'll be functional, but ending up just by himself, no. So I need to prepare so that I have finances in place, so that the financial, he's not going to be a burden, but the financial responsibility could be to his siblings, and so that needs to bubble up beyond my fear of having to maintain a successful situation. You know what I mean? And that's a little difficult for me too, because, you know, Trey, oldest son almost 30. Been a father for almost 30 years. But some aspects of being a father is where I feel like, and like I always think I'm growing anyway, but I feel like, man, why can't I just go ahead and reel this in, launch this product or this program or whatever, just based on my motivation to be the best father for them. And for whatever reason, I know I'm being all sincere right now. I'm not gonna cry. But like that should trump any internal personal situation that I have. But I can't explain to you why it hasn't yet. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know. And it also is kind of like trying to trusting myself, because in this, what we're doing right now, this podcast is me doing something to move in that direction. You know what I mean? Because the goal is to monetize. We don't have to be ashamed of that, right?
No, not at all.
That's the goal. You know what I mean? And so, but I don't have a problem. Like when you called me to do this, I was like, word. You know what I mean? But I guess honestly, I didn't think about so much the money or the financial possibility. I thought about I could sit down and talk to you. And we could get paid, really? Talk about work not feeling like work.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know why I can't just, it's not just a blanket across the board, pull the trigger, just do everything that you're thinking to do. Because you know, you're running out of time. You know what I mean? I'm 100% running out of time. One of my own quotes is, every day that you don't do, you didn't do. You know what I mean? And so, I'm running out of time. I don't know how much time I have. So I should be seizing every moment, but I can't tell you what the holdup is. I can't tell you, no idea.
So,
other than, like I said, having to maintain it.
So do you have a bigger fear of having to maintain that level of success, or a bigger fear of, if in the event, God forbid, your demise, your family is not taken care of?
Well, I guess it would have to. So if that was the bigger fear, I think I would have already pulled the trigger on a bunch of stuff. And why? Again, it's an issue for me. And I guess it could honestly be borderline like narcissistic, where my accountability, the highest regard for my accountability is to myself. You know what I mean? So I think you kind of have to be in a place where, like, kind of across the board, you don't want to let you down to really go ahead and launch a thing. But I have been in the past comfortable with, all right, I didn't get it done.
You've been okay with letting yourself down?
Yeah, I think I have been okay with letting myself down. But then, stopping there, right? Because the truth of the matter is, it ain't just me that I'm letting down. So what happens is, they're not even aware of the pursuit or the ideas, right? And so they don't have an expectation of what they will produce because they weren't aware that they existed. I am, and that's why I'm okay with letting myself down to that degree, where if I didn't tell you about it, you got no reason to expect anything to come of it. I didn't do it. Who cares? Nobody knows. It was all me. You know what I mean? But then there's other people, though, that I respect. You, crew, and my wife. Did not mean to list that in that order. But
You saved the best for last.
I did. My man, that's what I'm talking about. All light-skinned people are not bad people. Okay? But especially because her belief is like through the roof. And I don't know why I can't foster that for myself.
You mean her belief in herself or her belief in you?
In me. Why I can't foster that for myself, I have no idea. You know what I mean? But I still, I guess I'm at this point, and it's, I'm 50, man. And you just think to yourself, like, when you really have to start, when you're 50 years old and you start thinking about how you need to mature, you're like, maturity shouldn't be a question at 50, but it is. As a matter of fact, I almost feel like you're immature if you're closed off to that being a possibility. You know what I mean? But when you think about that, like, yo, I really shouldn't be, I should be at a point where I could definitely foster her belief in me and pull the trigger, but it's still just me and my own accountability within myself. I don't know. I can't, I've never been able to jump the hurdle. And so I try to pivot because I did, like I said, with the IP, looking at how to sell IP.
Right.
Because just, there was an event. I don't know if you remember, or did I ever tell you about that? The DDI, Daddy's Doing It event. I had, this was the summer of 2007. That's how far back this was. Where me and Mika weren't together. Mika's my wife, by the way, y'all. But we weren't together because I was still being foolish, not running around, not messing up. I just wasn't ready to be married, and I knew she was my wife when I met her. You know what I mean? I just wasn't ready. So I had done something stupid, but I just broke up. And she was like, well, what's wrong? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It was the dumbest thing ever. To God be the glory, she's here. 17 years. All right? But during that summer, I had planned a Daddy's Doing It event. The idea was, because I have a passion for fatherhood, right? And for fathers being present in their children's lives. So the goal was to do a field day.
I remember this.
Yeah. The field day, but it was going to be like community wide, where it was the fathers and their kids. And it would either maintain current relationships, establish relationships, or strengthen, relationships. And I had gotten the permit for the park to have it. I was working with a friend that was finding people donating snacks and drinks, the signs, all of this was being donated. Some of the equipment in order to plan some of the events, like a 3-legged race or a sack race, all of this stuff was being planned, and I wasn't even having to come out of the pocket crazy for it. And we had a reunion, our family, we had a reunion that was coming up, and I did not realize that I had planned the DDI event for the same weekend as the reunion. And that was my out. And I was afraid, and that was my out. And I shut it down. And I think I only lost like $150. That's how much it was for the permit for the park or whatever. But that was it. But I think about it all the time. If I'd have pulled that off, I would easily be in, umpteenth year of having that event. But I don't know. It's right up to the edge to get to where to pull the trigger, and I couldn't just do it.
So let me ask you this. How do you think it would make you feel if, let's say you're in a room with your wife, your children, and you tell them, listen.
Trying to make me cry.
I've had, yeah, this may do it. I've had all of these ideas that could have possibly set us for life. And I didn't pull the trigger. And they all looked at you and they said, you are not being the best version of yourself for me.
He's trying to make me cry. Go ahead.
That's the question. Like, how do you think that would feel? What does that do to your level of fear at that point? If you were in a position, because before you were talking about they just don't know about all of the ideas. But let's say they now know the ideas and they're looking at you like, hold up, you could have made a better life for us and you didn't do it?
Well, so I guess because ultimately they're still doing well, right? We could be doing better. And we could have been, we're doing well now, to God be the glory. We're doing very well now. And we could have been doing better sooner. And there are some circumstances that, the older kids could definitely be better. Some stuff that could have been avoided for them. So
you found we're good enough.
Huh?
So this is their response in this instance. So you're fine with just good enough.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. I'm not. But admitting that I'm aware that things could be better. And we can even use harsh language, admitting that I'm aware that things are mediocre compared to what they could be. Mm-hmm. That kind of honesty, for whatever reason, that transparency kind of strokes my ego enough to be like, well, at least you were man enough to admit it, that you're not doing what you need to do. You know what I mean? Or didn't do what you could do or whatever. In that instance, just being able to admit that and not really, my rebuttal was not defense. You know what I mean? I'm not fighting against that. I'm not even pointing to, well, hold on a second. Look where you live. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? Because I'm not afraid of the truth. The truth is that we could be better. And the truth is actually, y'all, we're going to be better after this podcast. Because it's taking all I got right now not to well up. It's real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I think you answered your own question too. You said you don't know what it is that's stopping you. I think it's ego and pride. Because when you say, you basically said that the fact that y'all are where you are, mm-hmm. and you haven't pulled the trigger on all of these things, and I'm here, mm-hmm. I've done enough to be where I am, and I'm good. Mm. So ego was like, we good. What you worried about it for? What's the point in going any further when we got here?
Well, I'm not even going to argue with that. Also, though, that, and I keep saying narcissistic because I think about my personal success. When I was a kid, 5th grade, Miss Brown's class, going around the classroom. Hey, what you want to be when you grow up? Fireman, cop, NBA player, whatever you hear this going around the class. She get to me.
I want to own Earth. That's 100%. If you sit there and tell me you said that, I'll be like, yeah, that's on brand.
I didn't say that at all. You know what I said?
What?
I want to be a father and a husband.
Oh, you did tell me you said that. Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what I said, 5th grade. Mm-hmm. Guess what? I'm a father
and a husband.
You know what I mean? And so, but the thing is, and one thing that, again, my wife being who she is, she's gracious when she is honest. But I've achieved the title, father and husband. But once you get there, you really learn what the position is. Mm-hmm. And so, because becoming a father just means your pull-up game is hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. I can push in, pull it out, a little difficult. Beep. No, doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Who wants to lead a party when it's just getting good,
exactly.
Right?
Not leaving. Right. No.
But that, and then, like I said, being a husband, people take nothing. Go down to the JOP. Say, I do. And you in it. You got the title. You got the paperwork. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But the position is so much more. Mm. And as a 5th grader.
But you know what? It makes sense that you said that in 5th grade because your father, who is your hero, is an amazing father, amazing husband. And that's all that you've seen. Up to that point, that's your hero. So, yeah, I want to be like my father. I want to be the father that he is. I want to be the husband that he is. But you needed to continue to live so that you can say, okay, there's more to life than just being the great man that my father is.
Yeah, and then plus it's funny because, as far as I'm concerned, that man ain't touched the ground since he just levitates floats, and hovers. You know what I mean? But there's some areas where he himself will say, I've fallen short. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That he has fallen short.
Right.
It falls on deaf ears when he's talking to me.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're
perfect. But that's the truth, that, I did need to learn more. And I didn't realize that the part that I was seeing, that wasn't all that there is to being.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? At all. But to me, it just seemed, because the thing is also, there was a comparison to other cats and their fathers. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, I'm a military brat. Mm-hmm. So I didn't meet anybody who didn't have a father in their life until I 17, 18 years old when I got to Georgia, and I was going to a school that wasn't just military, because up until then, I'm on military posts. The only reason you here is because your father's in your life. I didn't mean anybody who their mother was the one in the Army. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what happened is I was in a bit of a bubble because the nuclear family, having the father, the mother, the 2 kids, the dog, you know what I mean? That was what everybody had. And so in that, my father wasn't just like, he is a diamond amongst diamonds, but he was then a diamond amongst coal. When I would see cats who, some cats, like my closest friends, I would never even see their father. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, I'm at the park, I'm playing tag, you know, I hear the whistle because my father has come home. He hasn't even gone in the house yet. He's come home, he's come to the park, called me over just to hug me and send me back to the park. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Never seen. My father ain't raise his hand, raise his voice, curse at my mother. You know what I mean? Nothing. You know, all of the best things about me is what I, gather from him and my mother too as well. But specifically, man, man creating a man type of thing. So, I didn't know that to me, he's doing so much more than everybody else. I'm like, this is all there is.
Right.
And then I get older, and then he tells me, there were some times where, you didn't see. And it wasn't that he was like hiding it from me.
Right.
Everything else just eclipsed it. You know what I mean? And so now I'm really finding out, and mind you, still 50, father for 30 years, married for 17, still finding out what it is to fulfill the position of father and husband, but not being able to just do it, because I am kind of sticking to the fact that we're on this Quotes from Marriage podcast. Not being able to just do it because there's still the part of me where I've achieved what I wanted. And I've never, ever wanted anything more than to be a father and a husband. You know what I mean? Ever. People asked the question definitely too when I was, because that was the first time I said it, but wasn't the last time I had answered that question in that way. And like, well, what are you gonna do to take care of your family, as your husband and father? I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? I will. So that's what I was like, again, with just doing it, not really trusting anything to be me. You know what I'm saying? Where I like, this is a good idea, but is this really who I am? If I'm doing this, is this me? A situation where work doesn't feel like work. You know what I mean? And that's another thing with being able to maintain it, because if you kind of change the emphasis in the phrase, on one hand, it's just do it. On the other hand, it's like, man, I just did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so that's another thing, I guess. I didn't want it to be that. Or I don't want it to be where I just did it. Now, they can still benefit from that circumstance. You know what I mean? If I pull off one of my ideas and we make the money, it don't even have to be a perpetual situation where it's just constantly coming in. But if I make $1 million, they'll be all too happy to take that meal. You know what I mean? But I don't know. This has definitely turned into a therapy session, y'all.
Speaking of which, did you ever look at your father as a successful businessman?
No, because I didn't consider business to be a part of success.
And I think that may play a part also, because you have fulfilled what you wanted to be. Everything your father, because I know how much of your father is your hero, right? How much of a hero he is to you is what I'm trying to say. So it's like, amazing father, check that box. Amazing husband, check that box. I'm done. So, so when you look at it like that, I don't know how much I want to put on ego anymore.
Well,
Now, I definitely do think that ego plays a part, but I think we need to identify all parts of this. And ego isn't the only thing. Part of this is also you growing up to be the man that you have watched all this time.
Right.
And you achieved that.
Right.
So there's that part of you that's like, I did it. I accomplished it.
Well, there is like, I accomplished it in a way because he, when I first had Trey and I told him, he's like, what you gonna do? He know what he raised me to do. Just take care of my son. I said, but my issue is like, I don't know that I can be the man or the father that you are. And he said, well, the thing is, you actually got to be 10 times the cat than I am, because you're supposed to expand my boundaries. Where I stop is where you start. And I'm like, what are you
for the pressure?
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what are you telling me? But what I have realized is that he was amazing to me. And so I began to mimic what I felt like he was to me, to my children. But he had his own idea of who it was to be a father and a husband. And then that needed to be, kind of corroborated by my mother and me and my sister. You know what I mean? And so I'm saying their input was kind of necessary, or our input was kind of necessary. And I was so busy just being what I thought he was to me, to them, but not really concerning myself with what they think I should, you know what I mean? And part of that is keeping those ideas kind of from them. You know what I mean? Not really asking them those questions, because but there is ego. There's definite ego. Ego is a huge.
Yeah, it's definitely there.
Yeah, it's a huge. You don't have to second that. But it's definite. I mean, from both aspects. I don't think I am. I don't know how much of a role my ego plays in me being a husband. My wife can tell you all that, because I'm sure it exists. But I co-parent with my ego often.
Yeah, I know you do.
Often. And I try not to do that. I try to call it out when I do. But still, their input, I think, is necessary as far as me having achieved being an amazing father or husband. Yeah, and I've done some good things for them. But overarching, is that the opinion? And if that's it, and I feel like if it is that, okay, I've achieved father and husband, so I'm done, I really need to hear from them. Because essentially, if there's more that they feel like I could do for them, then I've not done. I got the papers, but the position still needs to be filled in a greater magnitude. You know what I mean?
So I think that conversation needs to start with your father, because you need to go to him and say, do you feel like you did everything that you had to do to put me and my sister in the best, and my mother in the best position possible? Or do you feel like you dropped the ball in certain places?
Well, he's not going to think himself to be perfect.
No.
You know what I mean?
But do you think he would have the same story that you have right now, where I had all these ideas, I had all of these things that I could have done, and I just never pulled the trigger?
Well, I don't know, but I guess I have to ask the question: if he does, then what is that? How does that affect things?
If he does what? If he does feel that way?
Yeah, if he does feel that way, how does it? If he does feel that he himself should have had a just do it attitude, and he just didn't.
Because that now falls in line with what he said when he said you have to be 10 times the man that I was.
Okay.
Because, I gave you all of this, right? But you have more. There are certain things that are just inside you that I didn't necessarily teach you how to be or teach you how to do or whatever. And you have all of these things, but it is your responsibility to take these things and turn it into something, because you got generations after you that got to do it better than you. Yeah. So if you drop the ball, then you can't expect them to pick the ball up and run with it, because that's the example that you set. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't pick the ball up and run with it, but if they do happen to just mimic what you did, you have to look at you at that point. So that's why I'm saying, do you think, I think that you would have to start with him having that conversation, because he may be looking at you thinking, he's doing the same thing that I did.
Well, so we've had some conversations that have been that candid, right? But he has expressed that, like, the way that I regard him is similar to how he regards me, and not because of him, because I'm mimicking him. Because he'll tell you, plain and simple, he had 2. I got 6 by 3 women. Not easy accomplishment, actually, but not easy to maintain.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so he's expressed a great deal of not just pride, but gratitude for me staying in place, staying in position. Because when I had my son, he said, "You got one job: be present. That's it. You got to be present. You can't be running the streets. You can't be locked up. That type of thing." And what I had to do with 6 by 3 is be present in a lot of places.
Right.
So he commends me on that, basically having gone beyond also what he did. You know what I mean? But he would definitely tell me that there's, as far as, again, to just doing it. He would even encourage, which, is kind of a weird thing, because I would definitely encourage my kids. I can't execute it. I can't be the example, or I haven't been the example of just do it, but I would still encourage to just do it. And that actually, just kind of switching lanes a little bit, that's actually one thing. It's weird for me because if I was to point, this is why you're their godfather. If I was to point my kids at somebody to say that's the example, to just do it, I am very proud to be able to point at you, but also a little ashamed of myself that I can't point at me. You know what I mean? So but this is I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was about to say it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is uncomfortable. But it's a good uncomfortable, I guess, because it's not painful.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea, Dan Wieden, when I read your quote, "Just do it," that I was going to be on the couch this afternoon. But I really wanted to explore, honestly, and I know there's more we can go with that, but just to kind of jump back to it, how do you just do it?
Well, I'll say this. I don't always just do it. You just see what I did.
Okay.
Now, granted, I do a lot.
Okay, yeah.
But I think a lot of it has to do with my childhood, and there's a lot of the things that I went through growing up. But I think so when I look at like the things that I do and how motivated I am to do them, and how I'm motivated to be great at everything that I do, I always go back to 2 things. Number one, I go back to being a kid and watching Michael Jordan and studying him.
Really?
Yeah. So I had this book. I got this book. We had like a little book fair at school one time, and I had this book. Bought this book. It was Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, right? And
in this book, it was
yeah,
called Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson.
No, that wasn't the name. I don't think that was the name of it.
Okay.
But both of them were. The book was about them, right?
Okay, gotcha.
And I read, and then of course Michael Jordan was my favorite, basketball player. So I read in there how competitive he was, and with me, I equated being competitive to being successful.
Okay.
So I felt like I have to always compete. I am always competing. If I don't have anybody else to compete with, I will compete with myself. So that is just the standard that I set for myself, is to compete. And you don't compete to not be good.
Right.
So I have to just do whatever it is. I have to just do it.
Right.
I have to just do it so that I can be great. But then the other thing was, as I was playing basketball, so I played my first, I would say, 6 years playing basketball. I started playing when I was 6.
Okay.
Organized. And my first 6 years, the first 5 years, I was the starting point guard.
Okay.
Right. First 2 years, we went undefeated championship. My last 2 years, undefeated championship. The years like in between, like it was still good, but just not the, didn't have the same level of success. But I'm used to winning at this point. A standard of winning has just been set. And when I played baseball, we didn't go do championships, but we had good seasons.
Okay.
Right. I'm just used to winning.
Okay.
Then spelling bee. I get in the spelling bee. I win the spelling bee. I'm just used to winning, right?
Spelling bee, y'all. I don't understand. That even though the tone he uses, that's in all caps. Spelling bee. Okay. Spelling bee champ. Shout out to Quentin.
Yeah, because he also won that. Yes. So, but what happened? My very last year playing basketball, I remember this guy stepped on the court the very first day of practice. New person, right? He steps out there. Me and the rest of the guys, we are in awe watching him. He's out there by himself, just dribbling and shooting. And we're all like, yo, he looks just like Michael Jordan. Why at this age? Why at this age are you this good?
Right.
And why you could tell he modeled himself after Jordan. And I said to myself, yo, he is about to take the shooting guard position from the guy that's had it the past few years.
That's hilarious. You did not think your position was threatened.
Did not.
That's hilarious.
He took my spot.
Oh!
He took my spot.
Oh!
Yo.
Boom. Whiz.
Took my spot, right? So now I'm coming off the bench for the first time.
Right.
And we won the championship. We went undefeated. The best season we ever had. We were blowing everybody out. Mainly because of him. Okay. He deserved that spot. Okay. And the thing is, I was never jealous. I actually admired him. And so I remember the very last the championship game. We all celebrating, but it was bittersweet for me because I felt like I didn't contribute to the season the way I have in the past because I was coming off the bench. I didn't have as much playing time, so it kind of messed with me, right? And I decided that day, nobody will ever take my place again, ever. And in order for me to make sure that does not happen, I got to be the best at everything that I do. So the opposite of that is not doing it.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's either do it till it's goddamn. Sorry about that, yo.
That's cool. I need theme music sometimes, so it works. But that's so for me. It's like if I don't do it, I go back to feeling like a failure. Even though we won, there was a part of me that felt like a failure.
Okay.
And I never want to return to that feeling.
Right.
Ever. So I have to just do it. And then, of course, the other things that I went, my story, going through all of the things I went through growing up and then being presented with obstacle after obstacle. But those obstacles presented themselves as failure to me because this means like whatever, like for instance, when I was, when they gave me the official diagnosis of depression when I was 11 years old.
Okay.
And they tried to medicate me at that young age. I told them, I'm not taking medicine because I believe I can kick this on my own. Because in my mind, taking medicine meant I needed help to live. And that made me feel like a failure.
Okay.
So that now means, so they're like, okay, cool. If you're not going to take medicine, what are you going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do, but whatever it is, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Yeah. Whatever it is, everything that was brought to me, if it didn't look like success to me, it looked like failure.
Okay.
And me not doing it meant failure, let's me and you team up to beat me. And I wasn't about to have that. So that's why like I am. And now I'm afraid of not being successful. And I think about the generations after me. I want generational money. I want to touch $1 billion at the very least before I leave this earth. Not for me, because I ain't running through all that money. I'm trying to create a legacy. I want to make sure that my children's children are taken care of. So that's like one of my biggest motivating factors, for me to say, I've been gone off of this planet for 300 years. And for 300 years, that James name has reigned supreme. You know,
That's kind of egotistical.
Okay, I can see.
Ego ain't all bad.
I don't necessarily see it as egotistical because I'm not doing it for me, just for me, you know. And my personal definition of success is not monetary, even though money is included, but it's not monetary. My personal definition of success is how many lives can I touch? How many people's lives can I actually change for the better? So that's how I measure success. So that's not really ego, you know, for me.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not talking about just my family. I'm talking about whomever. You know, I want to change the world.
I got you.
I really do, you know, and that's another thing that motivates me because I act like when I'm thinking about ideas for podcasts, everything that I do, I act like it's an audition for the next thing.
Ah, okay. I got you.
So I have to just do it because I'm auditioning for something.
Right.
Like right now, I'm sitting here and I want this podcast to be so great because we right now are auditioning for the next podcast.
Okay.
And the people that are watching are the ones that make the decision on whether or not we get the part.
Yeah. That's a great perspective.
Yeah.
That's a great perspective. I can't say I ever looked at it like that because I just I keep wanting to say narcissistic, but I just don't be caring what people think of me. You know what I mean? I don't care.
And I do care. I'm not defined by what people think about me, but I do care. I do care that people think that I'm a good person. I do care that you think that I'm reliable. That I'm like, for instance, I care to be so to be in a position where you feel comfortable enough to say, "Hey, I want you to be my children's godfather." Okay. I care about that.
Yeah.
You know, but if you were to say, "Hey, you ain't got your stuff together," you know, like I don't want nothing. I'm not defined by that.
Right. Okay.
But I do care that you see me a certain way.
Well, so I guess this is the thing. I do value opinions, but none is above my own.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. Now, the interesting thing about that, though, is that if my own opinion, this is where it gets gray. If my own opinion is that I can't do it, but like my wife's opinion is that I can, because I still value my opinion over hers, then I settle on I can, and so I don't. You know what I mean? I don't know how to make that how to turn that part off where my opinion doesn't matter the most. You know what I mean? Or at least where my opinion is not essentially handicapping me, because I prioritize it that way. You know what I mean? Because another thing, by the way, certain things I find out if I just do them, wasn't as nearly as daunting a task.
Right.
You know
I was going to say that too, but yes.
That's like for instance, we got a property the last house, and we're getting it ready to be rented, and I had to change the fan in the bathroom, and this is gonna get real stupid. We was in that house for 15 years. The fan was fine when we first got in there. I don't know, easily 5 years in. Let me say that fan has been just for maybe 10 years. It just barely kind of, and so I didn't like the noise. So I intended at some point to fix it. But until then, I just unplugged it. Right? They don't use the fan anyway. It don't matter. So we have to have an inspection for the property. So I had to go in and I pulled the cover down off the fan. The fan is just, it's barely, it is just barely hanging on. So I was like, all right, it's been 10 years. Let me just go ahead and replace this fan. And the whole time I'm like, I don't feel like getting up there. I don't know what's going on with inside the ceiling. Or long story short, I ordered the fan, went in the bathroom, pulled the old fan out, put the old fan in.
It took 5 minutes.
Not even. Not even. And when you think in the grand scheme of things, 5 minutes. And this is another thing as far as me just doing it. I overthink and I procrastinate, right? Mm-hmm. So what'll happen is, like, if to finish that story, it took me 5 minutes to put that in. Mm-hmm. It took me 10 years to decide to put it in. Mm-hmm. 5 minutes to actually do it.
Right.
And so from that, I definitely need to kind of pull from stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That just doing it is really the way to go. Because also, what's that? Oh, okay. So now that's behind me. Mm-hmm. Because I just did it, it's just done. Mm-hmm. And you would think that would encourage, but that was a small thing. But the concept is still transferable, regardless to how big the thing is. Mm-hmm. So then, of course, you had to get into, the procrastination and I don't know if I want to say laziness, because sometimes, like, if you're motivated based on your interest in a thing, then I can't necessarily call you lazy because it doesn't interest you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're one of the people that just don't like doing anything, well, lazy is it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, just, I don't know. I think I am. There's a little, maybe a little bit of lazy, just because I feel like I got to be honest with myself and kind of say, like not saying that there's not a little bit of laziness. It's almost like saying there's no place for me to improve. You know what I mean? But there definitely is a little, you know what I mean? But as we're talking about, I'm like, man, there's a lot of things that I need to just do, and how I would benefit a great deal from just doing it. And when I think about where it came from, I had to look that up real quick. I want to see if I can find the exact thing. But when I think about that, coming from the somebody's last words, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
While you find that, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
At 45 too.
Okay, go ahead. Cool.
So it took you 10 years and 5 minutes to become successful at changing that fan. Over the next 10 years and 5 minutes, how many more times do you plan on failing?
Oh, wow. So he's just going to task me on camera. That's how that's going to go.
Because you actually plan to fail.
Well,
because you could have done it. It took 10 years and 5 minutes. And you constantly made the decision to not be successful at something. You consciously made that choice to not be successful. So over the next 10 years and 5 minutes, how many more times do you plan to fail?
Well, essentially at no point do I plan to fail. But I appreciate the question because I understand that it's intended to motivate. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? By the way, real quick, I did find that it was Gary Gilmore, convicted murderer in Utah in 1997. His final words were, "Let's do it." And that came from, and so "Just Do It" came from that.
In 97?
1977.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
1977.
Okay.
The slogan, I think, was 88. I think is when they started with "Just Do It." But when I think about that, like, the guy was like, I've done what I need to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And once we do this, there's nothing else you could do to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think about it like that, all of the pressure because mind you, when you are halted by fear to succeed and or fail, it's fear of the unknown, essentially. You can speculate.
Right.
But it's essentially fear of the unknown. Mm-hmm. And so once you go ahead and do, though, now you know. Mm-hmm. And not only do you just know I could have done that years ago, you also know I still can do this now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so, man, I'm going to be held so accountable for this stuff. This stuff for this podcast. Oh, my goodness. But I really want, and I guess subconsciously, this is also just to kind of motivate me as well. I really want to be a just do it person, not without thought, not without consideration, but understanding that it does just boil down to do it or don't. Forget all of the stress about what happens if I do or what happens if I don't.
Right.
Just do it or don't. So I don't know where we were. I kind of feel like I ran off.
So I'm gonna tell you something. I'm afraid to fail,
Okay.
but I'm not afraid to fail big. So what I mean by that is, and I say that just for the wordplay, but let me clear it up. Failing big to me doesn't really mean failing. But if I go up, if I'm at the plate, the bases are loaded. We down by 3. I need all 4 of us to come home. It's the bottom of the 9th. We got 2 strikes. And I go up to bat and I bunt. That's a failure.
Okay.
That's a failure. If I swing for the fences and I strike out, I failed big. But I was going for it all. I was trying to bring us all home. I was giving it my all.
Right.
Now, I say that, like I said, that's for the wordplay or whatever. But I really, honestly, I don't see that as failure. I even with coaching, like when I'm coaching, I tell all of my anybody that I'm coaching, you got 2 columns. You got that W, you got that L. That W will stand for win, but that L has to stand for learn. Those are your only 2 options. You either win or you learn how to win. That's it. I don't ever want you walking away feeling like a loser. A loser is somebody that does not give it their all. A loser is somebody that gives up. A loser is somebody that goes into this with the wrong mentality. But if you give it your all, regardless of the outcome, they may have more points, but you're not a loser. You just didn't win. But what you did do, now, what do you walk away with this with?
Right.
You have to walk away with the lesson here. So you have to learn how to win based off of not winning this time. Right. So that's what I mean by I say I'm not afraid to fail big, because if I give it my all and it doesn't work out, all that means is that this wasn't supposed to work out. I have convinced myself, I've shown myself that I'm willing to give it my all.
Right.
So let's move to the area where I will give it my all and I will hit that home run or hit that grand slam and bring everybody home.
Gotcha.
But sometimes it's just a matter of putting yourself in a position to show yourself, I can do this.
Okay.
I can do it, So sometimes you just got to do it.
Yeah. That's it.
Just do it, because sometimes that's where motivation comes from. We have to change the way we look at motivation. Sometimes we sit there and we wait for motivation to get us to do something. But sometimes you just got to do it. After you do it and you see the result of you doing it, use that as motivation to continue doing it.
It's interesting that you say that, because I never put the 2 together. You know who is it Donald Goggins? Is his name Donald?
Talking about the author, Goings?
He's an author, and he's also like an extreme athlete.
He's talking about a dude that he was really big. He was like 300-something pounds, and he started running and lost a lot of weight because he was having health issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now he's like small. He's like a motivational.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
motivational speaker. Like,
Okay.
he does like extreme runs, races and stuff.
Okay.
Marathons and shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I saw a clip one time, and he was saying, learn how to execute without motivation. And the phrase, just do it, absolutely says that. Don't wait on motivation. Just do it. Don't wait on timing. Just do it.
Right.
Don't wait on position. Just do it. And that's why it's so impactful. It's so crazy. Because the other thing about, we were talking about the other ones having the slogans, 1988, I believe it was. 1988? It's dang near 40 years. Did they just been saying the same? But so many people are just doing it. You know what I mean? And so, that was, I think we're running up on time too.
Yeah.
But that was really, so all of that, to say that I want to be a just do it person. I appreciate, shout out to you, Dan Wieden, if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. I appreciate the motivation in that statement. Very simple, very clean. And for me, black and white, barring any excuses, just do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We can end with this. Somebody asked me one time years ago, I was like in my early 20s, they said, what do you want for your life? And I said, when I'm laying on my deathbed, I'm going to have a lot of regrets, but I don't want to regret anything that I did not do.
Okay.
So
That's dope.
yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. Forget the failures. I did it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope because, you know, my mother having passed, I always take solace in the fact that there was nothing that I didn't say to her.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't just do, but I did just say.
Right.
Yeah, everything. So I super duper love that. But yeah, that's dope. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you not making me full on cry.
I held back.
You right up, you was like right up to it. But you know,
Let me pull it back.
had to readjust my seat a little bit. But it was dope. But yeah. So I appreciate you. So yo, y'all just do it. How about that? We're gonna just do the end of this particular episode.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all watching.
I do too.
Yeah.
And on that note, and I quote, just do it.